They liked the balance that they had in race.
Casey Kane, we congratulate him, his third career pole.
It's all three Hendrick Motorsports in the front.
There's a few movers and shakers out there.
Carl Edwards free falling for a couple to victory lane is Joey Logano.
Get the inside line on who's fast and who's last before setting your NASCAR fantasy race team lineup this weekend. This is the Inside Line on MRN.com, presented by Hercules Tires. Now, here are your fantasy experts, Robbie Mays and Tyler Burnett.
It's the Magic Mile version of the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show. No, Rich, I did not say the Magic Mike version. I know you're probably excited about that, but
no.
We're heading to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and a lobster will be shown in Victory Lane on Sunday afternoon. Rich Culbreth's in this week for Robbie Mays, who's on vacation. Well, you can call it vacation. He's sitting on his porch at a beach and just looking at the beach.
We talked about this yesterday. Robbie goes to the beach, but he never goes to the beach. He goes to the beach, and then he sits on a porch, and he watches the wave. Which, I mean, that's a vacation within itself, but he's a young guy.
No, it's not. You're going to drive that far just to sit there?
Yeah. I don't even think he plays in the sand. I think he just sits up on the porch and watches the waves and the girls walk by. I guess that's it.
We'll hear from Robbie Mays throughout the show. Well, here in a little bit after our teams. Rich got beat last week. I just need to say that now.
Yeah, but not by much.
By me and Rango Fowler.
That's right. You finished 33rd, and that was
one of my best weeks.
Yeah, in fact, it was one of your best, and congratulations. I finished 130th, which out of 1,098, I believe that we have in the league now. I don't think that's too bad. And the only thing is that everybody that was ahead of me in the points, which I'm in 7th in the points. I don't know, if I made that clear last week.
Yeah, you've made it clear.
I'm still 7th in the points. Unfortunately, just about everybody in front of me finished ahead of me this past week, so I did lose a little bit of ground, but it's not a bad thing. We'll rebound in New Hampshire this
The only
weekend.
way I will be able to catch Rich Culbreth is if he falls to the bowels of sorrow, and which most likely will happen.
Well, it could happen. It could happen. Highly unlikely, but it could. As it stands right now, you're about 550, 600 points behind me. You gained about 50 on me this past week. So you had a
about
great
600
week.
more, right?
You need about 12 to 13 more weeks, just like this past week. You might catch me at that point. But your strategy, yeah, exactly. Your strategy, I just don't understand it because you're going with a completely different lineup this week than what I've got, just so you can catch me. But the thing about it is you've got 100 and some people between me and you that you've got to beat as well. So what is the strategy there?
Well, the thing that you'll find out is that a lot of people probably have Team Penske on their team this weekend, and that's a little bit of a teaser that Rich Culbreth does as well. I need to go the opposite of everyone else in the league, not just you.
That'll work for you.
People.
Yeah, and that'll work for you.
It worked for me last week.
It did. And it was a fuel mileage deal. And, hey, you have those every once in a while. Tony Stewart, who ran 20th or around that area pretty much all night long because of the fuel strategy, got in a 5th place run. And same thing.
And I look like a genius.
Yeah, it was a great run. But you're going to have that every single week? Good luck. Good luck with that.
It's about to get ugly on this show between Rich and I. So stick around. Robbie Mays will be joining us shortly, but after the break, we're going to have our teams next here on the Inside Line.
The Inside Line will return in just a moment.
O'Reilly. If your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, head to O'Reilly Auto Parts and take advantage of the exclusive Do It Right rebate. Just purchase a set of Brake Best Select or Select ceramic brake pads and you'll receive a $10 O'Reilly gift card by mail. Plus, enjoy quiet, safe, worry-free braking. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When the smoke settles, the entertainment never stops.
I feel like experience kind of outweighs youth.
On race weekends, your favorite NASCAR personality is an everyday superhero.
Kyle Busch driving for his life right now.
But when they leave the racetrack, they're just like everyone else.
Our lives are so much different than what people may think they are.
I'm Susie Armstrong. Join me on a daily journey as we discuss the hot topics and engaging personalities of NASCAR Nation. Ned Jarrett's World of Racing, weekdays on the Motor Racing Network.
MRN's Winged Nation presented by Hercules Tire. Tuesdays at noon Eastern on MRN.com, the MRN app, and YouTube.
Hi, I'm Donnie Schatz.
I'm Shane Stewart.
I'm Brian Brown.
Steve Post and Aaron Evernham talk with the race winners and newsmakers.
Hi, I'm Dale Blaney. Hi, I'm Sammy Swindell.
Hi, I'm Paul McMahon.
Winged Nation, live Tuesdays at noon Eastern, or on demand in the MRN.com Media Center, iTunes, and YouTube.
Hi, I'm Stevie Smith, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
Let's talk more fantasy racing on The Inside Line. Here's Robbie and Tyler.
Robbie, but Rich, unfortunately, is here at the show this week.
Robbie's a great guy. I wouldn't mind me calling Robbie every once in a while.
Rich is on assignment the next 2 weeks. Well, he's not going to be here next week. Thank the Lord for that.
Why is that? Oh, it's going to be quiet around the office without me here. You're going to miss me. You're going to miss me while I'm gone.
Rich is the producer of NASCAR Live, and for the last, 3 months now, someone's been doing your job just so you can train them?
No. I'm doing my job. I'm training, and that's how it works.
So he can go on this. Where are you going on, a motorcycle trip or something?
I go on a motorcycle ride every single year, and this year we're going up to Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. And so we don't go across country like the Kyle Petty charity ride, but we do go a little bit out of the states.
So it's Rich Culbreth vacation week next week. Right now it's Robbie May's vacation week. Join our NASCAR Fantasy Live League on NASCAR.com. Currently, Rich, and he will tell you pretty much every time you see him that he's in 7th place.
I've been in 7th for like the last
league.
4 or 5 weeks. I've just kind of got to that spot, and I just can't seem to move forward, and I don't want to move backwards, but that's where I've been.
Where am I at?
Like
130 something?
No, I think you moved up. I think you're like 112, somewhere along in there.
Right.
You still got a little ways to go, but you're just outside of the top 100. And that's a lot to be proud of.
All right, let's talk fantasy.
hey, by the way, congratulations to Jedi. Jedi won this past week. He was our top. Yeah, Jedi was the guy that got first place from Kentucky. He had the best picks out of everyone.
He used the force.
He used the force
to make his picks.
And I tell you, the guy that's been in first place, Main Star. I mean, he's been in another zip code forever. But Carl Edwards Rules is like 4 points behind him now. So it's getting close for the top spot, and I'm a little bit further back from those guys, but it's all right. We still got a long way to go.
And as I will keep saying throughout the show, Rango Fowler last week beat Rich and Robbie. So we'll see if he can do it again.
Yeah, he did
this
a good
week.
job.
Who's on your team heading into New Hampshire?
All right, well, I'm going to start with Brad Keselowski, the guy that's won the last 2 races in a row. You guys asked me a couple of weeks ago. We talked about it again last week. Who is the top team right now? And most people would still think that Joe Gibbs Racing is still on top. But I had to disagree with that one because it seems like Penske Racing, that's the team. I mean, Joey Logano won at Michigan. You had Brad Keselowski that won at Daytona. He won this past weekend. It seems right now Penske Racing is, but just by a narrow margin, on top of Joe Gibbs Racing right now.
Well, let's just clear this up. Logano's on your team as well, right?
Absolutely. I'm going to go with Brad and Joey. Last week I talked about that. Joey didn't work out, but Brad definitely did. So if you had him on your team, you definitely racked up last week.
Let's talk about Team Penske. Okay, so Joey Logano, yes, he was good at Michigan. Very good, in fact. And Brad Keselowski was decent. That rules package we're not going to see the rest of the year.
Okay.
All right?
Right.
Brad was not the best car last weekend.
But he won the race, though.
Yeah.
Robbie's on the phone already.
Yeah. You said this in the hallways. Now,
but he was not
I tell you, the
the
people
best
that listen to this
car.
show or watch this show, they wouldn't believe the things that we hear in the hallways. You told me first thing on Monday, you said, well, Brad won, but he didn't have a winning car. I'm like, well, wait a minute.
He didn't. Anyone who watched that race
I said,
could
were you
see
looking
that.
Were you watching a different race? He won the race.
He
had
won the
a
race,
winning
yes. That's
car.
a fact.
Robbie, did Brad Keselowski have a winning car?
He apparently, because he won the race.
That's exactly right. And that's what I was trying to dispute. Now, I understand, in all seriousness, I understand where Tyler's coming from when he says he didn't have a winning car. Okay. But if you're in the top 5, and he was all night long, he was hanging around the top 5. Yes, he was.
Top 10 maybe.
No, he was hanging around the top 5 pretty much all night long, and he was there at the right place at the right time at the end of the race. And to me, that's a winning car. Doesn't matter if he won the race, and you got the points for it.
No fuel mileage. Would he have beaten the 78 or the 4 last weekend? Answer that question.
Would he have beat him without the fuel mileage?
Yes.
You never know.
No,
you never know.
Martin Truex did a good job of beating himself last week. So
yeah,
well, that
you know
was,
they say about ifs and buts, and
that penalty.
that's not. Yeah. So yeah, Robbie, we were
But my
arguing
thing
about
is,
this
moving
yesterday.
forward, the best teams. Okay, so Brad Keselowski is very good on restrictor plate tracks. We have one restrictor plate race the rest of the year, and that's in the Chase at Talladega. Yes, he probably wins it. But moving to the other racetracks, are they going to be better than Joe Gibbs Racing at the tracks moving forward? Yes, they'll be pretty good at New Hampshire Motor Speedway because they are good there. But Joe Gibbs Racing is great on short tracks.
When was the last time a Joe Gibbs racing car won a race this year?
If you
know
count
the answer
Martin
to that
Truex
one,
Jr.
huh?
at Charlotte, he's a Joe Gibbs Racing
well,
alliance.
okay, all right, I'll give you that one. So we're talking mid-May, end of May. We're in the
That
middle
was like
of,
5 races
We're in
ago.
the middle of July now. Robbie, weigh in on this. What do you think? Do you think Joe Gibbs or Penske Racing right now on top?
I think it's Team. You have to put the team on top who's won recently, and Team Penske has won 3 out of the last 4 races.
Yes,
So
I know the
put Team
facts,
Penske
Robbie.
on top right now.
I know the
Okay,
facts,
if you
but
know the
who's the
facts-
better team?
I'm going home.
I don't know. Okay, all right. Be that we're not gonna, Robbie. We're not gonna change Tyler's his mindset on this. But you asked me, and I'm gonna say Brad Keselowski. The reason why he's the number one guy. If you go to MRN.com,
He's good at New Hampshire.
He is the number one guy. He's got the best average with an 8.5% now rating on New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He didn't have a great finish the last time we were there, where he finished 12th. But before that, he finished 2nd. He finished 7th. He won this race 2 years ago. So Brad Keselowski is a great pick for this week. And come on, the guy's got momentum on his side.
There's
2
no
wins in a row.
question. There's no question he's good at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Oh.
But you're asking who's the best team right now in the sport, and I don't think you can knock off Joe Gibbs Racing.
Who
right
hasn't
now.
won a race since May.
We've been to a bunch of wild card races. I mean, we've been to Sonoma.
All right.
We've been to, Daytona,
look,
a repaved racetrack. I mean,
I'm not saying the margin is big between Team Penske and
it's
Joe
close
Gibbs Racing.
between
It's
a lot.
close, but right now, who has the edge? It's Team Penske.
I would agree with Rich.
Yeah.
Team Penske right now, until someone knocks them off, is definitely at the top of the list right now. And Joe Gibbs may come out and run 1, 2, 3, 4 at New Hampshire this weekend, and then next week they'll be the top team in the sport. But right now, I think you got to go with the team that's won the most in the last month, which is Team Penske.
all right, so you apparently have Team Penske on your team, Robbie. You're on the Team Penske train.
Actually, I don't have any Team Penske drivers on my team.
So he sits here and argues with
Wow.
Team Penske and then doesn't put any on his team.
Who are you looking at, Robbie?
Well, I'm looking at Kevin Harvick. He's at the top of my list this week. He's led 379 laps in the last 3 races at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And I'm sure you guys have talked about this already, but I think that Phoenix and New Hampshire are very similar. They have a lot of characteristics about them that are very similar: long, fast straightaways, slow, tight corners. And Kevin Harvick has won at Phoenix 8 times, and he won there in the spring. So I think Harvick is definitely a guy to look at this weekend. Obviously, I got to go with the guy that won at New Hampshire last time out, and that was Matt Kenseth. 6th in this race last year. He's got 2 wins in the last 5 races at New Hampshire, and he was 7th at Phoenix earlier this year. I also like Austin Dillon this week. $20. He was 8th in this race last year. He was 16th at Kentucky last week. This team, and I've talked about them a lot this year, the 3-car is right on the edge of making the chase, and I think they're going to be aggressive over the next few races. So I look for them to have kind of an up streak here over the next month or so. They were in the top 10 at Daytona. They kind of struggled last week at Kentucky, but I think Slugger Labby is going to bring a strong car this week to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And then I've got to stick with Chase Elliott. I mean, I can't get rid of him right now. He's too far up from what I picked him up for.
He didn't do too well for you this past weekend, did he?
Yeah.
You picked Blaney and Chase, and they wrecked each other.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
How do you feel about that?
It was a
I
bad
don't feel good.
week for
I
Team
feel
Robbie
bad about
last
that.
week.
I feel like I was partly responsible for it.
Oh,
You really
boy.
were.
Hey, but you had Brad Keselowski on your team.
Didn't
and,
you pick Brad Keselowski to win, too?
I had Brad Keselowski to win, and I had him on my team, yeah. So
I bet you Joey Meyer's happy about that. You actually
I thought he
made
was
a
going to
pick
be
that was
mad
right.
about that.
Getting back on Kevin Harvick, you mentioned him just a moment ago, and we were looking at the stats here. He's got a 13.6 average finish there. It's not hardly the best, but in recent weeks or recent years, he's actually done pretty well at New Hampshire. And Tyler, what was it you were saying earlier? You were talking about that Harvick is really not a very good pick. This week is what
Harvick is on my team, Rich.
Is on your team.
You're trying to stir the pot.
No. What did you say a while ago? Let me just make sure I get this right.
I'm saying, looking at the numbers, there are better picks than Kevin Harvick this weekend. I don't think he should be your number one. If you look at the last 10 races, he's finished out of the top 20 5 times at New Hampshire. He's hit or miss at this racetrack.
Including the last time that we were there where he finished 21st.
How many laps did he lead?
He led 216 laps. He led most of that race, ran out of gas with 3 laps to go.
I'm going to throw it back in your face. I've started Kevin Harvick all year. All year last year, too. Everyone knows you have to start Kevin Harvick because he's going to lead laps. Why did you not start him last week?
I didn't start him because I didn't have him on my team. I couldn't afford him. I had both the team.
Why
Penske
didn't you
guys.
afford him?
Yeah, I couldn't afford him. And I said on the show, Robbie, and you will remember this last week, I said, whoever starts from the pole, make sure you start him.
And you didn't
because I know I should have taken my own advice, and I didn't do it. I kicked myself in the butt about that one. But yes, whoever started from the pole, if he gets out front, he is going to be hard to pass, and that's the way it was pretty much all night long. He ended up leading how many laps? Well over 100 laps. So you got a lot of points for that.
Well, he's P1.
I think last week we had to go with Kevin. We had to go with Team Penske because the 2 low downforce races this year, they had finished first and second or first and fourth in both of them.
And the funny thing is, if there wasn't a fuel mileage race, Team Penske wouldn't even been in the top 10. I mean, Keselowski was probably a 5th to 10th place car, yes, but Joey Logano was out to lunch.
Well, I mean, he crashed earlier in the race, and so we really
running
never saw
what,
it.
23rd?
Well, I mean, he was in the top 10 there at the beginning of the race, and yes, he hit the wall and he ended up falling out of the race. But hey, you were crazy not to go with him. You were crazy not to go with him because he had won at that same aero package with what we had at the All-Star race and what he had at Michigan.
That's
so you're
fine. Those
go,
are 2 completely different racetracks.
No, I think you were
High-speed
crazy not
racetracks.
to go with Joey Logano.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he ended up firewall deep into the fence. So.
Yeah. No, he did. And if you went with him, then yeah, you didn't end up too well. But
Robbie, why Matt Kenseth?
Because he won here last time. He's got the second best 10 race average at New Hampshire. And when I think of New Hampshire, I think of 2 guys. I think of Jeff Burton, who's going to be in the NBC booth, and I think of Matt Kenseth. The reason I think of Matt Kenseth is because he excels at the flat short tracks. He's got great car control. He's got a great crew chief. Those 2 guys have a tendency to be able to figure things out when they're not going their way. So that's why I like Matt Kenseth this weekend. The numbers are in his favor, and I've just got a feeling about him. I feel like this is the best car at Joe Gibbs for a while, and Kyle's kind of regained his momentum that he had earlier in the year. Carl's kind of getting back closer there. Denny's still struggling. But I think Matt Kenseth is a good option this weekend in New Hampshire.
I think Carl's a decent pick. He has 11.7 average finish at this racetrack. He has won top 5 in the last 10 races at New Hampshire. But if you think of this place being close to Phoenix, Carl nearly won Phoenix earlier in the year. So
I think Carl. I mean, well, since we were talking about Joe Gibbs Racing, out of the 4 drivers, or 5 if you want to count Mark Truex Jr., which one stands out to you the most? I mean, if you could go with one Joe Gibbs Racing driver, who would it be?
Matt Kenseth.
It would be Matt Kenseth, so not
He's
Kyle
on my
Busch.
team, so Kenseth definitely at this racetrack, and I went with Kenseth last week, and it was going to be a great pick until the fuel mileage race, but I thought Kenseth had a great shot to win last week, and I feel like he had a top 3 car, and I think it's going to continue. Kyle Busch, I think, is a good pick. His numbers probably aren't as great at New Hampshire as some of the others, but and I also like Denny Hamlin at a short track. So this weekend we're heading
So
to a
you're pretty
break
much
here
like
shortly.
everybody.
No, I will take Joe Gibbs over Penske this weekend, and that's a big surprise to most of you watching, or of course to Rich, who has Team Penske all over his team.
Mm-hmm.
And but I will take Joe Gibbs Racing over Team Penske this weekend. Let's just chalk it up that way. After the break, Robbie's going to stick around, and we're going to talk some more fantasy here on the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show.
Got a question or opinion about your fantasy lineup? Give us a call at 8444-ASK-MRN, and it may get used on next week's show. The Inside Line will return in a moment.
O'Reilly. If your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, head to O'Reilly Auto Parts and take advantage of the exclusive Do It Right rebate. Just purchase a set of Brake Best Select or Select ceramic brake pads and you'll receive a $10 O'Reilly gift card by mail. Plus, enjoy quiet, safe, worry-free braking. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Race fans, you know there's nothing like the power, excitement, and sounds of NASCAR. Ever wonder what it would be like to strap yourself in the seat of an authentic NASCAR race car? You can do it at the Richard Petty Driving Experience. Ride along or drive yourself at one of 15 tracks nationwide. Call 1-800-237-3889 or visit online at drivepetty.com. Richard Petty Driving Experience. It's authentic NASCAR entertainment. Call 1-800-237-3889 or visit drivepetty.com to reserve your experience.
At Victory Junction, it's simple. We believe every child, no matter their diagnosis or disability, deserves the chance to just be a kid. So we provide a medically safe environment where children who live in a world of hospital stays and doctor's visits are free to do everything from riding horses, ziplining, swimming, fishing, and bowling, all at no cost to the camper. The experience inspires confidence, builds self-esteem, and changes the life of every child who comes here. Help us change a child's life at victoryjunction.org.
We now return to the Inside Line.
Welcome back to the Inside Line. It is time for... What?
Do you live your life up under a rock? Or are you Tyler Burnett?
It is that special time again here on the Inside Line. Fantasy Racing Show is Under a Rock with Tyler Burnett. We've got you a choice. We've changed it up a little bit. We're going to give you a choice. You've got your choice of picking a picture of a famous celebrity or a clip. It could be a song. It could be sound clip.
I've been thinking about this one, and right now I'm 500. Batting.
Yeah, we've only done this 2 weeks, and the reason why is that Tyler is just. I'm sorry, you're just inept when it comes to pop culture, and he even said yesterday that he didn't know who Jimi Hendrix was, and I cannot believe you just don't know one of the greatest guitar players ever.
Anyways,
yeah. So what do you pick?
Because I did not get the picture right of Patrick Stewart, whoever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
I will go with the audio clip because I did get Cheers right last week.
Okay,
so let's try to go with the audio.
All
clip.
All right, Daryl, let's roll that clip.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
What?
Don't cross the streams.
Why?
It would be bad.
I'm fuzzy on the whole good-bad thing. What do you mean bad?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Total protonic reversal. All right, that's bad. Okay. All right, important safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
All right, that's your sound clip of the week. And you got 30 seconds on this one.
No one knows that.
No one knows what that is. No one knows that clip.
I know what that is.
I have
but hold on a second,
no idea.
Robbie. I mean, everybody in the...
Let me just take a guess.
Okay.
Terminator.
No.
Wait.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
That's yeah. That deserves
all right, Robbie, what is it?
Gun. It's Ghostbusters.
It is Ghostbusters. Yes, I cannot believe you've not seen that movie.
I have seen that movie actually, and I could not pick that out.
Did you have the sound on?
Rick Moranis is in that movie. I mean, I have seen Ghostbusters actually quite a few times, and I could not just pick out a random cut from a movie.
That's not a random cut. That is a very famous cut of that movie. I cannot believe you didn't know that.
If you would have played the video of the movie, I would have picked
absolutely.
It like that.
Hello. Okay.
Ridiculous.
Moving on. It's time to check Rango's picks. This is Rango Fowler. Rango Fowler, the fantasy chicken here on the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show.
Who beat Rich and Robbie last week.
Yep, he did pretty good last week. So maybe we can. Hey, and there is Rango Fowler right there.
Hang out.
All right, let's see. Here we go. You want to open it up?
I don't
All
care.
right. We're going to have Tyler open the envelope. These are
seals
sealed.
these things?
Rango Fowler, the fantasy chicken, is a chicken that we have here at MRN, and he picks his drivers by making his mark on the numbers that are under him. And
basically,
and
we
we
set some food down on 40 numbers, and he walks to them, and whatever one he picks first, and we pick them up.
Well, he
and
makes
take
his
that number.
marks in different ways.
Yes, right.
So, all right, let's roll through it. Who
All right,
are the
Joey Logano is on his team. He's
All
apparently
right.
on the
Good.
Team Penske bandwagon. Kyle Busch is on his team. Chris Buescher, who's on Robbie's team, apparently. Brad Keselowski, so he is on the Team Penske train this weekend.
How about that? Old
And,
Rango knows a little more than you.
Smoke is on his team, Tony Stewart.
All
So
right.
14, 2, 34, 18, 22.
And do we have a winner?
His winner is Kyle Busch.
All right, Kyle Busch as the winner. Rango Fowler, the fantasy chicken, here on the inside line.
I'll run down my team, and you guys can just argue with it if you want. So I have Jimmy Johnson on my team. We haven't talked about him yet. Johnson has 11.7 average finish at New Hampshire.
Let's take it one at a time. Jimmy Johnson, definitely not. Robbie, maybe you can weigh in on this. That team is just off right now.
Hendrick Motorsports in general is off right now.
Yeah, Chase Elliott is probably the best, and he's the rookie this year, but he is like the best out of all of them as it stands right now. Now, Jimmy Johnson, we've seen it 100 times where he's out to lunch most of the season, and then he comes back, and all of a sudden those guys are on fire. But right now, I don't know. Jimmy
I don't
Johnson,
know if you would say most of the season.
He started out well.
For the past 3 years, the summer stretch has not been kind to Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson.
All right, so you're going to go with him.
But Johnson is on my team, and I'll tell you why my team is different than Rich's this weekend.
Now, I love this philosophy here. Robbie, you're going to like this. Go ahead.
Well, let's just say this. The 1,098 people, probably 75% of them this week, is going to have Joey Logano or Brad Keselowski on their team, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so, if they're smart.
Besides Robbie, and he's not smart, obviously. But I want to do something different. See, I did something different last week, and it worked for me. I mean, I finished 50 points ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how many spots was that? I don't know. A lot.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it was
trying to catch
100 spots.
So
I
that's
see
why
what
I'm
you're trying
doing
to do.
something different.
I'm in another zip code from where you are. Why don't you try passing the guys that are within where you are, which is right outside the
I
top
am passing
100?
them, but I want to catch you, and I want you to fall to the bowels of sorrow.
Why do you want to do that?
Why
do you want to wish bad things on me?
The last time I picked Team Penske, no question, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, they wrecked each other at Bristol.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was last year. Was that, Robbie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the rain delay where Denny Hamlin got out and Eric Jones went in.
If you're banking on that, then
no, I'm not banking on that.
Yeah, you keep.
But I would
on that.
love that.
Yeah. Oh, I know you would love that. I believe me.
For you.
Oh yeah. No,
for your sake, not for Joey and Brad, because
I hear you.
I have nothing against them.
All
I have things against
then
you.
Then go with the opposite people than I do, and then we'll see where we all come out in the wash. I just don't agree with that philosophy.
So I have Jimmy Johnson. Matt Kenseth is on my team.
Kenseth
That's
is
why
a
I
great
asked
pick.
Robbie, because I liked it last week. He, I feel like he was a top 3 car, but third probably behind Truex and Harvick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to be great this weekend. So Kenseth is on my team. So I have Kenseth, Johnson. Kevin Harvick is on my team, even though I've argued a little bit just for argument's sake about his numbers at New Hampshire. The laps led deal, going to every racetrack we're going to go to here in the future, you have to have Harvick, in my opinion. So Harvick will stay on my team for a while. Tony Stewart is on my team, and I'll tell you why. He jumped up 75 cents last week. And you're right. He was probably a 15th to 20th place car, at Kentucky. But I feel like Smoke deserves another start this week just because of his top 5 finish, and he got me a 30th place finish this week in fantasy. What do you think of the Smoke pick, Robbie?
I like it. He's obviously won here before, and that team seems to be on an uptick right now, and they're in the chase right now. And he finished 11th last fall, and probably one of his worst years in racing ever. So I kind of like the Tony Stewart pick. Actually.
New Hampshire is one of his better racetracks.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
It is. It's hard to pass there. So, I mean, if he qualifies poorly, I'm not quite sure if I'd want to go with him or not.
Is there a chance of rain? Do we know? Has anyone looked? Robbie, I know you're sitting on your porch at the beach. You drive to the beach and you're just sitting there. You're not going to the beach or anything.
I see where you're going here. You're wanting
I
qualifying.
have walked down to the beach twice this week, okay?
You have?
Yes.
Were you wearing your tennis shoes?
No.
Do you wear shorts? I just can't see you wearing shorts.
Oh, my
really?
goodness. Really?
Okay.
We're good.
So what is the deal with the rain? I mean, let me guess. You want qualifying to be rained out.
If qualifying is rained out, Smoke, what? We'll start mid-pack?
That's why he wants qualifying to rain out. Good news, guys. There's a 0% chance of rain 3 days this weekend. So
I never said I wanted it to rain out.
All right.
But I was just asking if it was going to rain.
Yeah. All right.
So Smoke, Kenseth Johnson, Harvick, Annette. Michael Annette is on my team.
All right, my team's going to be Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick. I agree with you on that one. Joey Logano. Cole Witt. I like Cole Witt because, first of all, he's really cheap, and I have spent all my money on those other top names. But he's got a 28th, a 38th, a 28th, and a 24th. He normally qualifies poorly. If he finishes in the mid-20s, I'm going to be very happy with that because you get positive points on the passing. Casey Mears the same way. I didn't realize that his last 3 finishes, he had an 18th the last time we were there. He finished 16th in this race last year and a 22nd before that. So Casey Mears is someone else for really, really cheap numbers. If you're stocking everybody on the other 3, those 2 guys might be folks that will do well for you.
Robbie has Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon, and Chris Buescher. We'll get Rich's winner next. We'll also get Robbie's winner next here on the Inside Line.
Tyler and Robbie will be right back to talk more fantasy racing here on the Inside Line.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
Looking for a great spot for an affordable beach vacation, a family getaway, or the perfect romantic retreat but just can't find a time? Let the Plaza Resort and Spa help. A vacation on the world's most famous beach is sure to help you reconnect with the ones you love. You will discover the grand tradition of hospitality and service at this sparkling Daytona Beach Hotel, located directly on the beach. A Plaza Resort and Spa weekend escape is the ultimate in relaxation, with world-class massages, facials, body wraps, and more at the Plaza's very own Ocean Waters Spa. She'll love you for giving her such a fantastic weekend getaway. The Plaza Resort and Spa, located at 600 North Atlantic Avenue in Daytona Beach, one of the area's premier hotels and the perfect choice for any type of getaway. Book online at plazaresortandspa.com or call 1-855-DB-PLAZA. That's 1-855-327-5292.
Welcome back to the Inside Line.
We're back here on the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show. Rich Culbreth, Robbie Mays. You can hear his phone probably right now. He is on vacation.
That's the sound of waves in the background.
No, he doesn't get anywhere near the ocean.
I'm looking at the ocean right now.
Oh.
But you're inside of the house, correct?
No, I'm on a porch right now.
See, he doesn't leave the porch. He goes on vacation. He doesn't even go to the beach.
Hey, you know what? People do vacation differently. I'm right there with you, Robbie.
All right, our winners this week. Robbie Mays, before we let you go, who do you got?
My winner this weekend is the opposite of whoever you have. No, I like Kevin Harvick to win this weekend. And we talked about the similarities, Phoenix to New Hampshire and New Hampshire to Phoenix. So I think Kevin Harvick wins this weekend.
All right, Rich?
Brad Keselowski. I talked about him earlier in the show, so Brad Keselowski's my winner.
Brad Keselowski. Well, I have bashed Team Penske all day long, and really it's because it's the opposite of Rich, and that's why I did it. I actually do like Team Penske this weekend, and I like Joey Logano to win the race. Kyle Busch is Rango Fowler's pick to win, the fantasy foul. So we have Kyle Busch is his pick. Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, and Kevin Harvick are our picks. So hopefully you have a great weekend. New Hampshire is the Magic Mile, not Magic Mike, Robbie, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Just clearing that up.
Good luck on your fantasy team this week.
Yeah, that's right. Performance Racing Network has the call of the race this weekend. Hopefully hopefully we see Joey Logano with the Lobster in victory lane, because that's my pick to win. If not, let's just hope that guy is not on Rich's team. We'll talk to you next week here on the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires.
You've been listening to The Inside Line, presented by Hercules Tires. Stream us every Friday on MotorRacingNetwork.com or on the MRN app. The Inside Line is also available on demand at the MRN.com Media Center, or download it through iTunes or Stitcher. The Inside Line is a production of the Motor Racing Network.